Glowy skin after 40, it's not just possible, it's happening. I just love this glowy makeup look. It makes me feel dewy, glowy, and radiant. And today I'm gonna share with you exactly how to get it and how to make it last all day. And make sure you stay till the end because I do throw in some last minute tips to make this glowy makeup look even more glowy. Okay, so before we begin, I want to go over the importance of skin prep and let you know what I actually use today to prep my skin. So the first thing is it's extremely important to exfoliate your skin on a regular basis, but this look, if you do it the day before or the day of, it really enhances the glowy look. So I'm gonna show you what I used, and I actually did use it this morning. This is a brightening polish by Senna. I'm not even sure how you say that, but it is a very extremely finely milled. I mean, you can see how finely milled that is. I am not a fan of a very chunky exfoliating polish, so I really, really love this, and I will put a link in the description below. I do recall it being very inexpensive though. Another thing I recently came across is this little exfoliating rubber brush thing, and it does make it really easy to like get in on your forehead and your lips and stuff. I found this on Amazon in a set of 2, also very inexpensive, and I will link it in the description as well. All right, the next thing is I use a vitamin C serum, and then I finish it with a sunscreen. I really love the sunscreen. It's perfect for someone with sensitive skin, and this is tinted, so it doesn't leave you with a white cast. So now we'll get into the fun part, which is the makeup. I have really been loving doing this dewy, glowy makeup, and I have found a way to make it last all day, and I'm gonna share those secrets with you. First off, we're gonna start off with a beauty oil. I'm using RMS's beauty oil, and if you're not careful, this can get all over the place. So I'm just going to actually, instead of putting it directly on my skin, or actually you can, but go like this, because I have gotten it, yep, see, there you go. It will get on your clothes if you're not careful. And if you're wearing a white or anything, it will ruin your clothes. I mean, it will come off in the wash, but whatever. And really make sure that you are working this into your skin. Make sure to focus on the areas of your face that are more dry. For me, it's my forehead and under my eyes. I try to avoid anything on my chin that is oil-based. So I'm going to skip that because it's going to inevitably get on there anyways. Now that that's all set in, I'm going to go in with this Sheer Glow. It is a liquid illuminizer. Now this is something that you can apply before your makeup, or you can mix it with your foundation or BB cream. But to show you how beautiful this is, I'm going to apply it first before I put on my BB cream. This is by Gibson Girl, and it is in the shade Vintage Rose. So I'm going to start off on the back of my hand so you can see how pretty this is. A little bit goes a long way. I like to apply it with a brush because it is very pigmented, I guess. Not really pigmented, but it can look extremely shimmery if you apply it with your hands. Now, this is something that you can apply at the end, or if you don't want to wear makeup one day, this is so pretty by itself. You can kind of see how glowy that made my skin. It is also nice because you can add it to your chest area and helps it give it a little glow. You can kind of see, I'm not sure if you can see that or not, but it is very pretty. So next I'm going to be using a BB cream, something very lightweight and easy to blend in is preferable for this look. And this is the Gibson Girl in shade Neutral. Using my same brush, I'm going to buff it in. Okay, see how pretty and natural that looks? It almost looks like I could not be wearing makeup, and that I just have really pretty dewy skin. Now we're gonna be moving along to our eyes, and then we'll get back to the face. We're gonna be starting off with a color corrector for my eyelid base. I really like this because it's a little bit more dewy versus an eyelid primer. This is called Catrice and it's in the shade Light Rose, and I will link it in the description because it is a fan favorite and it is very inexpensive. This is really great for not only brightening up under your eyes, but also as a replacement for an eyelid primer for somebody who has more dry skin like myself. I kind of put the bulk of it on the bottom and then kind of use the remainder up to my brows. Also going to add it under my eyes for a brightening effect. We're going to be using mainly cream products, and we will finish off with some powder products, but the majority of the products we're going to be using are going to be cream, so that's going to give us more of a dewy, radiant glow. Next, we're going to be using this paint pot by MAC. Today, we're going to be using the shade Soft Orca. I'm going to use my fingers to apply it. A little bit goes a long way, and I'm just going to be putting it just on my lower lid today. This also works as an eyelid primer, even though it's technically not. Next, I'm going to be using the fleshy shade in this Soft Glam Anastasia Beverly Hills palette. I'm going to be using that fleshy shade, which is a very neutral light shade. Now, if your skin was a little bit darker, you may opt for one that matches more of your skin tone or that's slightly lighter than your skin tone. I'm going to use a little flat brush. And now I'm just going to put this on my lower lid. Gonna blend out any extra eyeshadow. Now, I don't typically love a lot of eyeshadow, mainly because the density of eyeshadow, when I put it up on my upper eyelids, it doesn't sit well. So I like to use like more of a bronzer or a blush to give my eyes a little bit more warmth. And this is one of my favorite palettes to do that. Not only do I love this for a blush and a bronzer, but I love it for my eyeshadow. I'm gonna use a fluffy brush and I'm gonna dip into it and I'm going to just kind of pat it in and then distribute it, kind of drag it down to my lower lid. I think it's just because the texture of like a bronzer or blush is just so much lighter that it just works better on my skin. And maybe somebody else who might have more mature skin or more dry skin, maybe that would work for them as well. Give it a try. It's kind of like a multitasking product. I'm obsessed. This is called Maiden's Blush, and I have 3 more of these, and this is the one that I grab for almost every day. Plus, it gives you like a little glow on your eyelids. And as you can see, I'm not dragging it all the way into my inner corner. We want to keep that nice and bright to give our eyes a more wide awake look. But I just lightly feather it up to the brow bone, and that kind of gives us a little bit more of a fresh vibe. I'm going to go ahead and put my eyebrows on. That's not why you're here, so I'm not going to torture you and bore you through it, but it is part of the look, part of the daily look. So I will make sure to fast forward this for you. But if you are interested, this is the Skinny Brow Pencil by Gibson Girl, and it is very easy to use. Next, we're gonna go back to the cheeks. I'm gonna be using the OG Sculpted Face Stick, and this is in the shade Copper. I am going to put it right here, kind of like in between my cheekbones and on my cheekbones, and then we're gonna go ahead and hit our forehead. This is also something that you can use on your upper eyes if you were to not have already put on your eye color like I did, and you can still put it on even though you put powder on, it's okay. Now I'm gonna work it in. I'm gonna use this brush by Anissa, and it is the Angled Cheek Brush. And we're gonna just be really working it in. Push, 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 up, up, up. This gives you a beautiful sun-kissed glow. Now I'm going to add a little bit of definition to my eyes using a waterproof eyeliner. This is Chocolate Brown by Gibson Girl, and I'm just going to wiggle it up in my lash line. All right, that is all for that. But if you are gonna be putting an eyeliner in your lash line, try to use a waterproof version. So if your eyes water or whatever, it's not gonna transfer onto your makeup and get on your lower lids, you know what I mean. All right, now for mascara. I am recently a new fan of this Clinique Black Honey, especially if you are wanting a more natural look. And if you have blonde eyelashes and black is just a little too harsh for you, this you will absolutely love. I have black lashes, but I have been loving this. It is very pretty and very natural looking, but use whatever makes you happy. So if you want a dramatic lash, which I'm usually all for, then go for it. Even with this, I still apply 2 coats because I still am a mascara junkie. I mean, to be honest, I just really love the color and I really love how it goes on. It doesn't get clumpy or anything. And it's a really good mascara to apply to the top and the bottom of your lashes. And I say 2 coats. I kind of think really with this one, you gotta really go in with 3 if you want a dramatic lash. It's also a very nice lightweight mascara, so it does not weigh your lashes down. I am a big fan of not putting my concealer on before my mascara for this reason. It never fails. I always transfer it onto my lower eyelid space. Mascara is such a pain in the ass. Excuse me, how pretty is that? It gives it drama with still being approachable. All right, now we can apply our concealer in our outer corners. This is the Gibson Girl Concealer, shade N2. It's a very lightweight, radiant, dewy concealer. Because it's liquid though, you need to let it sit for a minute before pushing it into the skin. And that's what we're gonna do here. Or you can speed it up with a little mini fan. This is great for your eyelashes too. Now we're gonna start working it in. Not sure where that accent came from. We're gonna start working it in. So funny, I never do my makeup the same way twice. It's so funny. So if you watched another one of my videos and you're like, she didn't do it that way last time, that's because it didn't. It's probably because I didn't. I'm gonna start using another Anissa brush. This is the angled concealer brush. Actually, no, I'm not. Just kidding. Yes, I am. I don't know. Actually, I'm gonna start working it in with my fluffy angled brush. This is by Yummy Face and I use it religiously now. I have several concealer brushes, but this is the one that I have been reaching for. Now with your concealer, I wanna go back to that. Make sure that you are using a very radiant concealer because you don't want your entire face to be nice and glowy and then have like a matte under eye. It just wouldn't look right. You can see how this concealer is just melting into the skin and it is very radiant. It is buildable, but I like to keep it more on the lightweight scale. Also, you can see how I drag it up and now I have a very nice lifted look. Just kind of blend that in a little bit more with this beauty blender. All right, next we are gonna do our Blonzing, which is blush and bronzer mixed together. And I did not make that up. I wish I did. It is where you mix your blush and your bronzer together. Oops. So what we're gonna do is we're going to use a little foundation brush, I guess. First, we're gonna apply some cream bronzer, and then I'm gonna go ahead and pick up my cream blush. This is shade Desert Plum. It is the Lip and Cheek Cream by Gibson Girl. It is another one that I use religiously especially with the bronzing stick. And that gives it like a very nice additional glowy, sun-kissed look, I guess. We are loving the cheek color these days. This is a very pretty makeup look for vacation. It makes you look like you just spent all day laying out at the pool, having cocktails. No worries except for what you're gonna be sipping on and what you're gonna be eating for dinner. Sounds nice. Now, before I share with you the secret to keeping this glowy look lasting all day and maintaining its radiance, I gotta do my lips first. We're gonna be using the Gibson Girl Waterproof Honey Bun Lip Liner. This, because it's waterproof, will last all day with your makeup. Look at that, I got my lips back. All right, we are going to maintain a fresh, less is more makeup look. So I'm not gonna be using a lipstick, I'm just gonna be using a lip gloss. This is the Gibson Girl lip gloss. This is shade Nearly Naked. And it lasts a very long time for a lip gloss. And I love this color. It is something that looks good on freaking everybody and is a bestseller at my salon. And frequently sells out online. All right, that's our lips. Now, this is what I've been doing lately for setting my under eyes before I set my makeup is we're going to use a setting spray under the eyes first. So we're gonna set the under eyes. And I recently learned this tip, and it really freaking works. And I just used the Gibson Girl setting spray to start off with. Of course, the face that I'm making, it's not becoming, I get that, but it's needed because you want to make sure that you are blotting out any creases under your eyes, because if you set it with the crease in the makeup, then you're setting the makeup and you know it's not good. It's not going to be good. So it's necessary, okay? Sorry. Blot that out a little bit. All right, next up. Where are you? Excuse me. Where'd you go? Excuse me. Where are you at? Just always for where I need you. Annoying. All right, so this is not the final step, okay? But it's the next step. This is a setting powder. Translucent Invisible Setting Powder. The OG, the only one I use, Gibson Girl, Invisible Loose. So, under your eyes, again, blot. Feather down, blurring. Look how blurring that is. Now that I did that, you might think I just took away all my dewiness and glowiness, but now that we just blurred it out with our setting powder and you think it's all set, we're gonna be using a setting spray. We're gonna be using the Gibson Girl, and we're gonna try not to hold it too close to our face so it's not gonna wet down our face, but don't be shy with it. Now we're gonna go ahead and hit it with a dryer. Now you can see that brought back the glowiness back to my face that the powder kind of diffused. Now after you set it and you decide, I want some more glow, I'm gonna be using the Spotlight Highlighter by Gibson Girl. I'm gonna go in with the peachy color right here, a little copper peachy color, and I'm going to just add a little bit more on my cheeks. Because like I said, I am obsessed with a blushy, cheeky glow. Hit my forehead too. Maybe a little bit down here. You can do your nose if you want. Drag it down. These are just little steps, okay? You don't have to do it. It's just an option. But look how pretty that is. Now, Just one more thing, okay? You don't have to, like I said, you don't have to, but options. Going to take a little detail brush. I'm gonna go ahead and use this one. Now this is where you gotta be very careful, especially if you have mature skin. You don't want to add too much because if you do, it will accentuate the crepiness or dryness around your eyes. But if you do it ever so strategically and you tap it a little bit right there, you'll be okay, I promise you. I don't know if you can see that though. Look how pretty and kind of like reflective that made that look. Like I said, just right there. Don't get the urge to just keep going. You'll regret it. Just right there. Now, a lot of people will add a little bit to right here. You can do that. We're not going to. Just options. Now you can go to town and you can go with this one or whatever. You can add a little bit of lightness right here. This you definitely also want to be careful with. You don't want to add too much and be so reflective. That, my friends, is the secret to having nice glowy skin that lasts all day. Let me know if you are excited to try this look. If you learned something today, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you haven't already, share it with a friend, and I will see you in the next one.